Hi everyone, today I'm going to explain about Mudharabah. Mudharabah is an Islamic contract where one party provides the capital, known as Rabbul Mal, and the other party provides management and effort, which is the entrepreneur or mudarib. So basically, one person gives the money and the other person runs the business. In this contract, profit are shared based on agreed ratio between both parties. There are two parties involved in Mudharabah. First is Rabbul Mal, which is the capital provider. This person provides the money but is not involved in managing the businesses. Second is the entrepreneur or mudarib, who manage and operate the business. For profit, it is based on a ratio that both parties agree on. For example, 60-40 and 70-30. And usually the higher ratio is for the capital provider. Mudharabah also has two types. The first one is muqayyah, which means restricted. This is when there are specific conditions set by the capital provider. The next one is mutlaqah, which means unrestricted, where there are no specific condition given. Now, let's talk about Mudharabah. First, it's based on trust or amanah. Second, it involves two parties, which are the Rabbul Mal and the mudarib. Third, the capital is provided by only one party. Fourth, the entrepreneur provides effort and management. Next, profit are shared based on an agreement ratio such as 60-40 or 70-30. And there is no guarantee that profit in Mudharabah. And if there is a loss, it is borne by the capital provider, unless the loss is caused by negligence.
In terms of contracts, several key elements must be included in Mudharabah agreement. First, there must be an offer and acceptance, also known as ijab and qabul, between both parties. Next, there must be a clear agreement between the one who provides the capital and the one who manage the business, including the specification of the capital amount provided. The profit sharing ratio must also be agreed upon in advance. In addition, the term of how the business will be managed should be clearly stated, along with the conditions for terminations or breach of contract. Next, we will look at the condition that can invalidate the Mudharabah contract. These includes violations of agreed terms, dishonesty or fraud, and misuse of capital for other purposes. Negligence or misconduct in managing the business that results in losses can also invalidate the contract. The contract may also end if either party passes away, loses legal capacity, or if both parties mutually agree to terminate it. As an example, Mudharabah is applied in Islamic saving accounts such as Bank Islam or CIMB Islamic, where the bank manages the funds and profits are shared with the customer.
Now, I will explain about Musyarakah contract. Musyarakah is a partnership contract in Islamic finance where two or more parties agree to do business together. It also starts with offer and acceptance, also known as ijab and qabul. All partners contribute capital and the amount can be equal or unequal depending on the agreement. The business can be managed jointly by all partners or they may appoint one manager to handle operations. For profit, it will be shared based on the agreed ratio among partners. However, if there is any loss, it will be shared according to each partner's capital contribution. Most importantly, this contract requires mutual consent from all parties involved. Next is profit sharing. The profits are distributed based on a pre-agreed ratio among the partners. This means it is not strictly based on how much capital each partner contributes, but rather what they have agreed upon earlier. However, when it comes to losses, They must be shared according to each partner's capital contribution. So, the more capital a partner contributes, the more loss they will bear if the business does not perform well. Lastly, in Musyarakah, all partners share the business risk. There is no guarantee return, which makes it different from conventional financing.
In terms of management participation, all partners can be involved in managing the business, or they may appoint one or more partners to manage on behalf of the others. Musyarakah must also follow Sharia compliance. This means the business must avoid elements such as riba, which is interest, gharar, which is excessive uncertainty, and any haram activities. Lastly, there is no capital guarantee. No partner is allowed to guarantee another partner's capital or profit. In summary, Musyarakah is a partnership where profit is shared based on agreement, losses are shared based on capital, and all partners take on risk together while adhering to Islamic principles. Next, let's look at the 6 types of Musyarakah in Islamic finance. The first type is Syirkah al-Mulk, which refers to co-ownership partnership. This happens when 2 or more parties jointly own an asset, such as inherited property or a shared house. The second is Syirkah al-Aqd, also known as contractual partnership. This is a partnership formed through an agreement to conduct business together. Third is Syirkah al-Inan. In this type, partners contribute capital or effort, but their shares. The fourth type is Syirkah al-Mufawadah, which is an equal partnership. Here, all partners share equally in capital, profit, loss, and responsibility. Next is Syirkah al-Abdan, or labor partnership. In this case, partners contribute only their skills or effort without any capital investment. Lastly, we have Syirkah al-Wujuh, which is based on the credit or goodwill. Partners use their reputation to conduct business, such as buying and selling, and then share the profit. In summary, these 6 types of Musyarakah show the flexibility of partnership structure in Islamic finance, depending on how partners contribute and share responsibilities.
Next, I will explain the condition that can invalidate a Musyarakah contract. First, violation of basic contract condition. This includes situations where the capital is not clearly defined, the profit sharing ratio is not agreed in advance, profit is fixed as a lump sum, or one partner is guaranteed profit or capital. Second, breach of Sharia principle. This happens when the business involves non-halal activity as well as the presence of riba or excessive uncertainty, which is known as gharar. Third, loss or destruction of capital. If the business suffers losses that completely wipe out the capital, the contract becomes invalid. Lastly, withdrawal or death of a partner. The contract ends if a partner withdraws, passes away, or becomes legally incapable, such as due to insanity. There are some examples of Musyarakah. Home financing, which means bank and customer buy a house together, customer slowly buys the bank's share. Second, property financing. It's used to finance shop, offices, or building using a partnership concept. Third, investment account. Bank and customer invest together and share profit.